In our journey through the God of War games, we get to see some really terrible stories. Stories about gods and stories about mortals. Both these stories are really captivating and they kind of make us feel sad for these people. The prime example is Kratos' story. Kratos' story is full of really tragic stuff. But there is a story that most people kind of push away or people don't realize. And this person is someone who gave everything but got nothing back. And their end was extremely sad. And it's one of the biggest injustices, if you ask me, in the whole God of War.
Kratos, the death of Zeus is within our reach. Climb to my hand.
The greatest injustice in all of God of War is the one that was dealt to Gaia. Gaia is one of the people who got the terrible end of anybody in the whole saga. Now, to tell you the story, we have to go way back to the beginning. In the beginning, Gaia and Uranus had children. These children became the Titans we know, Kronos and everybody else. Eventually, Kronos became king of the earth. He ruled everything. And Kronos got a prophecy, and this prophecy spoke of one of his children coming to take over, kill him, and rule the whole earth. Fast forward to the future, and Kronos had a couple of children with a woman called Rhea. Rhea had to give up her children. Kronos ate each and every one of her children, and eventually was left with the last baby. Before this would happen, Gaia was in her position of happiness. She was part of the ruling class. She didn't have to get involved. She could have just sat back and watched everything unfold. But Gaia saw this injustice and she stepped in. She stepped in to protect these babies being devoured by her own child. This is a person who was in the good place. One of the hardest things in this world to do is to go against your own tribe, being in a place of comfort. They don't have to do it, but Gaia did. Gaia saw injustice and she stepped in and helped Rhea deceive Kronos. They gave Kronos a rock instead of the baby Zeus, and they took baby Zeus on an island on Gaia's back. Gaia brought Zeus up. Gaia fed Zeus, gave him everything he needed, made sure he became a strong and healthy man. And she urged Zeus, go out there and free your brothers and sisters, but they still live in Kronos' stomach. Gaia took this kid, saved this kid from being eaten, reared him up, made him fit and strong, gave him the motivation to save his brothers and sisters, and he did exactly that. Gaia had a good heart. She took pity on this kid and saved him. Zeus grew up, went and did exactly that. He went out there, saved his brothers and sisters from the belly of Kronos. But unfortunately to Gaia, Zeus was a psychopath baby. There was no amount of training that could make this kid a good kid. He already had his mindset on eliminating each and every Titan he could find. And this led to the Titanomachy, whereby Zeus became the tyrant that he fought against. He went to save his brothers and sisters from Kronos, and for some reason, he took it upon himself to make sure that every Titan that he meets is going to meet his blade. And that is why Gaia once again decided to fight to fix her error. It wasn't an error. She took pity on a kid, which was the right thing to do. But this kid became a monster, so now she had to fight. That's why we have Gaia fighting in their Titanomachy. By the end of the day, we all know what happens. The Titans lost the battle. Zeus and his brothers and sisters became kings of the earth. And now the Titans were all imprisoned because Gaia stepped in, helped a little kid, trained him in the way to go. But this kid ended up being a psychopath. And rightly so, because Kronos started this whole stuff. But Gaia didn't have to do anything. And at the end, this kid betrays her. Her whole race, all the Titans get imprisoned. And now she was left barely unscathed. But she got the good stuff at the end of the day. Other Titans got worse treatment. But at the end of the day, her actions cost her people. And that is not the end. Gaia once again sat back, and she could have sat back. She was safe. She was not imprisoned by anyone. She still was the goddess of the earth. She could do a lot of things. She had a lot of freedom. But Once again, Gaia's good heart stopped her from sitting back.
Who are you?
I am the Titan Gaia, ever-present Mother of Earth. I have watched you become a powerful warrior, and I have been with you through all the events of your life, but I can no longer simply watch. We will help you defeat Zeus. Death is an escape, Kratos. You are a warrior of Sparta, not a coward. Only a coward accepts death.
I am no coward.
Then you must fight. I will show you the way to the Sisters of Fate.
She had revenge in her heart against Zeus, but at the same time, she saw what was happening with Kratos. Kratos being betrayed, Kratos being murdered, his brother, his mom, the whole injustice of the whole situation. She saw it and decided once again, without learning her lesson, because she had a wonderful heart, a wonderful mind, she said, I'm going to help this guy. There was a little bit of a motivation to get revenge when it comes to Kratos, but still, she still stepped in, risked a lot, helped Kratos escape Tartarus, and showed him the way to achieve incredible powers so he can finally defeat Zeus and she can fix the error that she began. Imagine being the reason why your whole race or all humanity is dead. Imagine helping an alien that humans were exterminating. Then this alien grows up and still hates humans and kills all humans or imprisons them all. How would you feel? You would still feel like you have to fix this mistake, and that is Gaia's reason for helping Kratos. She wants to fix that mistake. But one thing happens that I feel like the developers did Gaia really dirty, because this was so unnecessary. So at the end of, in the beginning of God of War 3, Kratos and Gaia and incredible titans, everybody was scaling Mount Olympus, and something happens. To get to the peak, Zeus strikes Gaia with a lightning bolt and they all lose their balance and they are falling. Gaia is losing her grip, Kratos is losing his grip on Gaia. Then this moment is one of the terrible moments in gaming history.
Gaia! I can hold on no longer!
If I help you, we will both fall. Even now, Zeus gains.
The destruction of Zeus is why you saved me from death!
I saved you to serve the Titans.
Do not deny me my revenge!
Listen carefully, Kratos. You were a simple pawn, nothing more. Zeus is no longer your concern. This is our war, not yours.
Gaia!
This moment right there didn't need to happen. Why did the developers make Gaia say that? It was just a tool to make Kratos hate Gaia. They are both fallen. Gaia can do nothing. She could have just said, Kratos, I'm falling too. Try your best to hold on. That was it. That's what she could have said. But it made her say all this stuff, which was unnecessary, right? It was dumb. We used you were just a pawn and all that. She didn't have to say that. But it said that so Kratos will have to kill Gaia. It was just a terrible reason, a terrible tool, a terrible excuse, and such a waste of an epic character. Throughout the God of War games, Gaia's voice in your ear, telling you how to use your abilities, telling you the things you need to do, using the rage and all that, made the game epic. She was an incredible character, and that is something that is missing in the current God of War games. So that moment right there pitted Kratos against Gaia. Kratos was really crazy. He was consumed by rage at the time, so any tiny thing will set him off, and that wasn't enough to set him off, because Kratos should understand they are both fallen and they are going to die. But Gaia didn't have to say that we are just using you, you're just a pawn, so go and die. I mean, that is all on the developers. So at the end of this all, Kratos, being the crazy unstoppable force that he is, ended Gaia. The woman, the Titan, the greatest of her people, with the greatest heart, giving heart, loving heart, got killed by our angry Kratos just because she wanted to help. Gaia was the one from the very beginning of time, all the way before Kratos was born, before Zeus was born, before Kronos was born. She was the one. She didn't have to, but she still tried. This story is something that we can see in our own real lives. There are millions of heroes in this world. In World War I, World War II, people today making sacrifices that we would never see. They would never get a reward. And these people will go forgotten. Forgotten to history, forgotten to time. Every single thing that they touched will disappear. So when you're doing good, just do it for yourself. How would it make you feel? Don't do it because people will see it and say, yo, you're good. No, do it for yourself, because when the bad stuff happens, like what happened to Gaia, like what happened to so many people in God of War, you will know that, hey, if I was happy, then it was worth it. So this is a small piece of God of War that really kind of hurts a little, because Gaia got a terrible end, a terrible deal, and she deserves to be alive right now in the whole saga. Imagine if Gaia still existed. She could repair the whole Greek mythology. She was the goddess of the earth, for goodness sake. She could have repaired it. Just single-handedly. Didn't even need gods. It would just be Gaia and the mortals. That's it. Gaia repairing the earth, fixing everything. Then the mortals just living off the land. Unless they do something where Gaia is still not dead, she's still alive, she's repairing the whole of Greece, and Greece becomes a place of peace and prosperity, and the people are still living on it, and everything is going well. Plus the power of hope that Kratos released, then everything will be good. But that is just me daydreaming. Unless they do that. If you do that, you owe me some money, bro. Anyway, so this is the most tragic story in all of God of War. Let me know what you think about all this, right? Because it's terrible. It's terrible what happened to Gaia. And I hope you guys appreciate it too. And let me know what you think about all this. If you like this, remember to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, join me on Oath Theory. It helps the channel. I hope we can get to 10K, 100K, whatever way you want to go. We just need to go up. So leave a like, share it, do whatever you can. And I'll see you next time.